go on the mission. Hello there. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the installation on my personal computer. First, let's check how much RAM I have. Okay, if I go to my computer, you see that it's 8 GB of RAM, and I have the Intel Core i7 4700MQ, and my clock speed is 2.4 gigahertz. Alright, so that's my computer spec, and I have plenty of space on my computer. You see that I have a lot of free space. It's about 1 terabyte. Okay, wonderful. Now you see that this is the VM player. I have my VM already running. This is the host, HXE host, and this is my HXE ADM user, basically to access your SAP HANA installation. So the first thing you want to check is the health of your SAP HANA database. So this database has already been started. Let's check the path. So let me go and click on this space and let's check the path. So that's the path I am in, user/sap/hxe/hdb00. And if I call the function hdbinfo, and I'm going to be given the services which are running. So these are all the services which are running currently. Next thing I want to know is what is the IP of my computer, right? So for that, I'm going to call ifconfig. All right, let's call the full path as been ifconfig, and there you go. So I have my init address. My init address is 192.168.92.123. So right about here, you see that you have the address. Okay, wonderful. Then I have a bunch of other information like the usernames and passwords, which we're going to be discussing later on. Now let me go ahead and show you how to access this from your Eclipse SAP HANA Studio plugin. Okay, so this is my SAP HANA Eclipse Studio plugin. You see that this is Eclipse. I'm running the SAP HANA modeler, and these are all the perspectives I have. I have already logged into the system, so if you want to know the information, you can just hover around here or click on this system. So the IP we are connected to is 192.168.92.132, and 00 is your instance number, and systemdb is your system database or your master database for your multi-container installation. System is the username you are connected with. All right, let's go ahead and click some information here. So these are all the folders. The database up and running. It's green in color, and you see that we have 5.83 GB given to the database. All right, see the VM is taking about 7 GB of RAM, but it's allocating 5.83 GB to the SAP HANA database itself. So that's what it means here, 5.83, and then 1.93 is the used memory, 1.43 is the peak used memory. And then maybe one more thing I want to show you is, let's pull up some information. So I have created a schema for myself called Junaid, and this is your system schema, and currently this is a fresh installation, so we don't have any data, but however, of course, we can pull up some information from the system tables. So let's go ahead and check all the CS tables, which are the column store tables. So right about here, CS tables, right click, open data preview. There you go. So this is the data coming from the database. So this makes sure that we're connected to the database and we're able to see data. Thank you. Hello there. In this video, we're going to see how to download the Java JRE 8 and install it. It's a very simple task, but just for the sake of completion, we're going to see this video. Okay, so as you can see, I have Googled download Java JRE 8. We can open the first link, and there you go. So these are all the binaries, and you have to accept the license. So let's go ahead and do that. And now I need the 64-bit exe there about it. So let's go ahead and download this. So you just need to click on it, and it's going to take a couple of seconds depending upon your speed to download this. For me, this is taking about 20 seconds. All right, there you go, it's done. So now let's go ahead and open this up. Okay, so this is your Java SC Runtime Environment 8 Update 101, and let's say yes. So this is the welcome screen. So this is going to ask you about the path. So if you want to change your path, so you can change from here, change the destination folder. It's always good to have the Java installed on the default C folder, because all the programs are going to look for it and the C folder. So there you go, the installation has begun. This takes about maybe a minute or two depending upon the speed of your computer, and I'll get back to you when this is completed. Alright, so we have successfully installed Java. You can always check by going to your start menu and simply typing Java. There you go, so just click on the About Java link and it's gonna give you the build, update and all the other information you need. There you go, that's about it, very simple. Go ahead and do this. Thank you. Hello there. In this video we're gonna see how to download your free SAP HANA database VM image. Okay, let's go ahead and fire your Chrome and you can say SAP HANA Express edition. So when you Google that, the first non-sponsored link is SAP HANA Express edition, sap.com go.sap. Let's go there. Okay, so this is the landing page, and this is a quick walkthrough of what this solution is, and you have a set of tutorials and you have some information about system and features and things like that. They keep constantly changing these pages, but as of now this is the information you have. Now this also talks about the different versions of the installer. You have the binary installer and you also have the virtual machine image, which we will be using. Okay, the first thing you need to do is register and then download the SAP HANA Express Edition download manager, and then you need to start the download manager to actually download the SAP HANA VM image. To run this you need Java JRE 8, and that's why we installed the Java JRE 8 before this video. Okay, let's go ahead and register now. So just click on this link and it's going to take you to another page, and this is the registration page. So you might want to read all this stuff. Go ahead and punch in your email if you want to subscribe. I've already subscribed, so I'm going to say no, and I'm going to say yes to both of these conditions and go ahead and say register. Okay, so this is the landing page for the download. So you have the Linux version, you have the Windows version. We're gonna go for the Windows version. If you want to give a quick reading to this paragraph, it's gonna be helpful for you. Alright, let's go ahead and say Windows, and now what it does is it basically downloads the download manager, and the download manager is actually going to download the HANA VM for you. Now depending on the location and depending upon the time of the day, this will take maybe a quick second or half a minute. So there you go, our download manager has been downloaded. Now I'm gonna fire it and I'm gonna say run. Now when I say run, it's gonna call another downloader. Okay, there you go. So this is what we need, and to run this we need the Java JRE. Alright, this is the location where you're gonna download. So I already downloaded this, so I'm gonna say Express HANA Express 2, and you can choose which options you need. So first is the PDF, which takes you through all the steps which you need to go through, so we need that. And the second option is the server only, and this is all we need, and this is within the scope of the course. But if you do need the server plus applications, and if you need the text analysis files, this is for users who know HANA and who have already worked on HANA, so they can use these options. So you can go ahead and say download, and depending upon the speed, it's going to take you maybe 5 minutes, maybe more. So when this is done, I'll get back to you. Alright, so we have finished our download and the files have been joined, and it also has verified for us. So you also will get this prompt that HANA Express Edition virtual machine image is successfully downloaded. Okay, that's about it. And obviously you can go and verify. So go to your location and go to HANA Express 2 for me, and I have my PDF and I have my OVA file called HXC. There about it. Go ahead and give it a shot. Thank you. Hello there. In this video we're going to see how to download the VM player and install the same. So go ahead and say download VM player on your Google search, and you're going to get all these options. Let's go ahead with the second option or the third option, whichever you like. Downloads VMware, and click on it. So these are the different downloads. Maybe I think we'll go back to the second link. So let's go back to the second link here. Okay, so this is VM Workstation Player 12.5. You have two versions, one for Windows and one for Linux. So go ahead and download the workstation for Windows 64-bit. Keep that in mind. And this is 747 MB. So this might take a little bit time depending on where you are, what time of the day, and the speed of internet you have. For me, it's right about done. So let's just wait for a second. Okay, it's completed for me and I'm gonna fire it. So there you go, say yes, and this is preparing for the installation. Give it a second. Okay, now let's go ahead and say next, accept the terms, next, and this is the path where you want to save it. I might want to change it because this is going to fill up really fast. Let's go one level up, two levels up. Let's go one more level up and say D, and I'm gonna save all my VM here. Say next and say next. If you want these two options, you can enable them or disable them as you like. Say next and then go for the installation. Okay, so this installation will take, again, depending upon the speed of your computer, some time, maybe a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna get back to you when this is completed. Voila, it's completed. There you go. So all you got to do now is say finish. Let's go ahead and fire the VMware workstation. So you see the link about here. So let's go and click on it. And now you have the VM machine here. It's picking up my earlier VMs, but we're gonna create a new VM machine in the next video. Thank you. Hello there. In this video, we're going to see how to import the downloaded SAP HANA VM image into the VMware Workstation Player. Okay, so we're going to say open a virtual machine. So click on that link and find where you have downloaded. For me, it's going to be SAP HANA Express 2 and then HXE. Now it's going to ask you where you want to store the VM. So for me, it's going to be HXE2. And the path, you can change the path, and I'm going to change it to my E. So there you go, and you can say okay. Now you can hit import, and this process is going to take some time, maybe a few minutes. So be patient and I'll get back to you when this is done. All right, so it's a moment of truth. The VM has been imported and you see that it's taking about 7 GB of RAM. And you can edit the virtual machine settings here. If you want, you can give it more RAM, but I would suggest not doing anything as of now and just going ahead and saying play virtual machine. So this is gonna kickstart the virtual machine. So you see that it's picking up and it's saying that VM E1, that is my network driver. It was saying something, but don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. And now it's gonna say download and install. Okay, let's go ahead and download and install this. So these are the tools for the Linux, and this will help your VM run better. So why not go ahead and download and install these tools. Okay, we can hide this for now. And there you go. This is the HXE host login. Now we need the document. This is the PDF which we have downloaded along with the SAP HANA VM image. Let's go ahead and say yes, this is for the VM tools. Okay, my PDF is hanging because of the VM, because you see that the VM is taking 7 GB of my computer, which has only 8 GB. So everything else is going to slow down. So you gotta be careful what you run. I would suggest that shutting down everything which you don't need. Probably I can take you to my task manager and show you how my RAM usage looks like. So you see that even the task manager is taking quite a bit to open up. You see the performance, it's gonna be evident that the GB is quite high. It's taking about 6.38 and 6.4. So it has some virtual memory, it does some shadow paging and a lot of other concepts. So you see that it's quite high as of now because of the VM. Okay, you have already downloaded this PDF, so go ahead and open this up. So the PDF has finally opened up, and this talks about what the database is, the version, and what all you need, the machine requirements. Talks about JRE, which all of these steps we have already done. And here it says RAM is 16 GB. That's the trick. If you read this document, you're going to be stuck thinking that you need 16 GB, but you know what? It actually runs with just 8 GB. Okay, so let's go down a little bit, and we have done all these steps already, so you can take a look at it. So there you go. So this is finally where we are, getting started with the SAP HANA Express edition. So this is the HXE login prompt, and this is the login ID, and this is the password, and then you're gonna have to change the password. Okay, we're gonna do all these steps in the next video. Thank you. Hello there. So we have come a long way. We have installed a lot of prerequisites. We have downloaded the VM player. We have imported the VM machine. So finally your HANA VM is actually running. So it's great news if you have come this far. Now throughout the next videos, we're going to continue taking baby steps. So I'm going to take one specific task and we're going to do it in one specific video. In this specific video, we're gonna just change the HXE ADM password. First, we're gonna log in and then we're gonna change the password. So this is a super user and you need this user for all your activities on the administration side. Okay, let's first pull up the VM. So this is my VM and I'm gonna go in, and the first thing is logging in. So you're gonna type HXE ADM. Okay, it picks up the user. Now the password is HXEH, all in capitals, and ANA1 in small. There you go. Now the trick is, now you're thinking that you're gonna change the password now. The trick is you're gonna type the same password again. So what's the current password? The current password is HXEH ANA1. Frankly, I was stuck in this step for over half an hour because I did not know that it was the current password and I was trying to change the password. Now finally it's asking for a new password. If you see, it's asking for a new password. Now keep in mind that this password has to be quite complex in the way that it has to use letters, numbers, special characters in a good combination. Otherwise, the database does not accept the password because it has a very strong password policy. Now let's see how I have written the password. You see that it only waits for 60 seconds for you to change the password. So if you're not changing it, it's gonna time you out. It's okay, we're gonna log in again. But in the meanwhile, I can show you how my password looks like. So to exit the VM, you're gonna hit Control Alt together. So now you see the mouse, so you are now on your computer. Okay, now I'm gonna pull up my notepad file and you see that my password looks like this. It's 5342 underscore capital E and then asterisk 1 underscore capital G small c capital F small d and then apostrophe. So this is how my password looks like. So you may want to use something like this, or you can invent one of your own, or you can also follow what's in the guide. But of course, don't keep the same password as in the guide. So obviously, that will not be safe. Okay, I'm going to try this again. So let's go ahead. So HXE, you have to click inside the VM. So you see that you're typing in free space right now. So you have to click inside the VM to first type HXE ADM and then HXEH all capital ANA1 in all small. There you go. Again, HXEH ANA1. There you go. Now the new password. So the new password is 5342 underscore capital E asterisk 1 underscore capital G small c capital F small d and hyphen. There you go. Now it has accepted, so it's asking you to retype the password. So 5342 underscore capital E asterisk 1 underscore capital G small c capital F small d and then I. So it logged me out again. So you see that you got to do this really fast. So I'm gonna do it fast this time. So let's do this. HXE ADM and HXCHNA1. Okay, HXCHNA1. All right, so it's 5342 underscore capital E asterisk 1 underscore LGC LFD, and then this. There you go. 5342 underscore capital E asterisk 1 underscore capital GC capital FD. There you go. All right, so now I have actually changed the password. So this is kind of time bound activity, so you have to get on it and then finish it. And of course the challenge is that you can't see the password you're typing, so therefore you can't be sure about the correctness. So it's going to take a couple of tries, so be okay with it not happening a few times. And I had to go through many times, and this is not my first time, so I was able to take you smoothly. So give it a shot and change your password. Thank you. Hello there. Now your VM is ready, your database is up and running, you have changed the ADM password, and now it's time to test your installation if the server is working okay and if all the services have been fired. So to do that, there is a command called HDB info. So this is basically another program or a function which calls all the services and basically tells you about the health of all these services. So the response should look something like this. So these are all the services which we need: the name server, the compile server, the preprocessor server, and the web dispatcher. So these are the services which we need, and we need to make sure that all these services are up and running. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So this is our VM, and we are at the HXC ADM. So if you're not sure where you are, you can type pwd. Okay, pwd, there you are. So you are at user/sap/hxc, that is the SID, and /HDB00, that's your instance number. 00 is your instance number. We'll talk about these details a bit more later on. Right now, let's first check if everything is okay. So the command is HDB all caps. So most of you are going to say in small, like I did long back. It's all caps, and then info, and then you say enter, and then you see that we are pulling up all the services which we need. So the name server, the compile server, the preprocessor server, and the web dispatcher. So that's step number one. So you want to check if everything is okay. In some cases, this will not be the case, and you may not see some services. So then you need to restart the database. To do that, you're gonna call HDB stop, that's to stop the services, and then HDB start, that will restart all your services. Go ahead and give it a shot to HDB stop. So that's going to stop, and then HDB start, that's going to restart. So that'll give you an idea how to stop and start the database. Okay, the next thing we want to do is check the VM's IP address. So this is the path sbin ifconfig, and you're going to pull up the IP, and we are concerned about the ETH0 and the init address. So the first thing you want to do is /sbin. Okay, I keep forgetting to click inside the VM. /sbin and then /ifconfig. So that's the true path, and there you go. I don't have an init address, so you see here that I don't have an init address. We need it to be something like this, the init address. So this is the local internal loopback IP, so we don't need that. Okay, so how to fix this? We can fix this by going to player and by going to manage and virtual machine settings, and then you can go to network adapter, and you can see that currently as bridged, connected directly to the physical network. So I'm going to change it to NAT. Okay, and this is going to use my host's IP address, and this should probably do the trick. So we're going to say okay. Now let's try again. /sbin /ifconfig. Okay, all right, so there you go, you fixed it, and then now you have the init address right about here, 192.168.70.128. So that's how you find your IP address, and if you don't find your IP address, and then you can fix it by what we did. All right, go ahead and give it a shot, and we will continue in the next video. Thank you. Hello there. In this video, we're going to see how to change the password of the system user. Now, the system user is a super user on the application side. So this is a user which is created by default, and you're going to be using this user to log into the database the first time, and you're going to be using this user to create roles and users and various other activities. So this is a very important user which you need to have. So let's see how to change the password of this system user. And the only way you can do this is from the command line. Of course, when you create other users, you can change the passwords from the SAP HANA Studio, but only for the system user, you will have to come to the command line. In order to do that, we need to first log into something called the HDB SQL. So this is basically a SQL client on the Linux box. Well, you can see the syntax. It goes like this. First, we log into the HDB SQL. Then -u is the username, which is system. -d, system DB, which is for multi-container databases, and this is your master database. And -p is your password. Then it's going to prompt you to update the password. Okay, let's go and give it a try. So I'm going to keep it right about here and click into the VM. So now we're going to say HDB SQL -u system. So maybe we can give it a space, system, -d, and then system DB. So make sure you are typing as you see, and we can give it some space, and then -p and the password. So HXE all caps and ANA1 in all small. Okay, let's go ahead. There you go. So it's asking you for a new password. So this password can be a simple password, so you can have one caps and one letter and stuff like that. So I am logged into the HDB SQL and I have changed my password. So my password was welcome with a capital W and then some numbers and some characters. So you can also try the same, or you can use your own policy. Very well. So now you know how to change the system DB password, which is a very important admin activity. Thank you. Hello there. Let's go on the mission to install the SAP HANA VM image. Alright, so let's take a look at what are the prerequisites we have. So what kind of OS do you need? So you can use either a Windows or a Mac PC. What are the RAM requirements? So you need a minimum of 8 GB, or if you have 16 GB, that'll be wonderful, because you can also run the other applications smoothly. Let's take a look at the process. So first you need to install the Java JRE8. This is useful for downloading the VM image from SAP. Next, you're going to be registering at the SAP for the SAP HANA. We're going to download the VM image. Then you need to download and install the VM player. This is free for non-commercial use. Then we are going to configure the VM. After that, you need to download the Eclipse Neon. Then you're going to be configuring the SAP HANA plugin by giving a link and downloading. Then finally, we're going to connect to the SAP HANA Studio to the server on the VM. There you go, that's it. So that'll be our mission to do, and let's go on the mission. Hello there. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the installation on my personal computer. First, let's check how much RAM I have. Okay, if I go to my computer, you see that it's 8 GB of RAM, and I have the Intel Core i7 4700 MQ, and my clock. Hello there. Let's go on the mission to install the SAP HANA VM image. Alright, let's take a look at what are the prerequisites we have. So what kind of OS do you need? So you can use either a Windows or a Mac PC. What are the RAM requirements? So you need a minimum of 8 GB, or if you have 16 GB, that'll be wonderful, because you can also run the other application. Hello there. Let's go on the mission to install the SAP HANA VM image. Alright, let's take a look at what are the prerequisites we have. So what kind of OS do you need? So you can use either a Windows or a Mac PC. What are the RAM requirements? So you need a minimum of 8 GB, or
Hello there.
if you have 16
In the
GB, that would be wonderful.
SAP HANA
because
Database
you can also run
HXE
the
host
other
and
applications
through
smoothly.
the installation. In this video, I'm going
Let's
to
take a look
computer
at the
first
process. So first you need
2.4
to install
spec,
the
and I have
Java
plenty of
JRE8.
space
This is
on.
useful for downloading the VM image from SAP. Next, you're going to be registering at the SAP.
Hello
for
there,
the SAP
but
HANA.
just for the sake
We're
of
going to
completion,
download the
we're
VM
going
image. Then you need to download and install the VM player. This is free for non-commercial use. Then we are going to configure the VM. After that, you need to download the Eclipse Neon. Then you're going to be configuring the SAP HANA plugin by giving a link and downloading. Then finally, we're going to connect to the SAP HANA Studio to the server. Let's take a look at what are the prerequisites. There you go. That's it. So that will be our mission. A minimum of 8 GB, and let's go on the mission. You need to download. Giving a link.
Hello there. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the installation on my personal computer. First, let's check how much RAM I have.
Hello there.
If I go to my computer, you see that it's 8 GB of RAM, and I have the Intel Core. So the first thing you want to check, if I go to my computer, you see that walk you through. In this video, I'm going to walk In this video, I'm going to walk you through the installation on my personal computer, and I have plenty of space. Let's check how much RAM I have. If I go to my computer, you see that it's about 1 GB of RAM, and I have. You see that this is the VM player. I have my VM already running. This is the host. And my XE host, and this is my SAP HANA installation user. So the first thing you want to check is the HANA installation. So the first thing you want to check. So this database has already been started. Let's check the path. SAP HANA database. So this database has already been started. Let's check the path. And let's check the path. So that's the path I am in. User slash SAP slash. And let's check the path. So that's the path I am in. User slash SAP slash call HXE slash HDB00 info. And I'm going to be given the and 00 is your instance number. I'm going to be given and systemdb is services which are database. So these are all the services which are running currently. Next thing I want to know is system is the username of my computer you are connected with. So for that, I'm going to call. I have configured some information here. So these are all the folders. The database up and running. It's green in color. And you see that we have 5.83 GB. So I have my init address. My init address is 192. The VM is taking about 7 GB of RAM, but it's allocating 5.13 GB. So right about here, you see that SAP HANA database itself. So that's what it means here. 5.83 and then 1.93 is the use memory. 1.43 is later on. Now let me go ahead and show you how to access this from your Eclipse SAP HANA Studio plugin. Okay, so this is my SAP HANA Eclipse Studio plugin. You see that this is Eclipse. I am running the SAP HANA modeler, and these are all the perspectives I have. I have already logged into the system, so if you want to know the information, you can now what it just hover around here or click on this system. So the IP we are connected to is 192.168.92.132. And 00 is your instance number. Hello there. And systemdb is your system database or your master database for your multi-container installation. System is